Hey, good morning, Wolf Pilot fans. I'm in a place that I'm not usually at, doing something I don't usually do. But I'm here helping good friend Tony with his airplane. That should scare you. November 28235. Today, folks, we are doing an oil change on this Lycoming 0540.
No, yes.
Oh.
I should know what kind of engine I have, yes.
I think it's on the chart, that little thing you have there. So on 540, we've already done our parts arrangement. We've got the oil drain bucket over here, cowlings laying over there. We've got all the oil we need there. We've got the oil filter over there. Do you have your safety wire and wire tool?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so anyway, today on this edition of Airframe and Powerplant. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take Mr. Oil Bucket after I bent it so the oil drain actually goes where it needs to go, and then we'll take this dude. Let's see, the shortest distance to a place is usually a straight line. So it can come down here. You know what? I'm going to be like, all right, so you saw it. So I've got a hose right here. This dude goes.
Oh, there it is.
Basket.
I think that's why he has that zip tie on there.
Oh, holding on. Now the one thing, the stupid thing about this drain, I've seen some of them.
Okay, look, it's up that way.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
that's a clockwise.
That way. That way.
Let's see. Can you shine a light down here a little bit?
There you got it. Oh. Well, we can.
Very, very gently.
Okay.
Woo! All right, folks. Gives you got a close up here of oil draining into the bucket.
So it's a little dirty. Not too bad though.
Be very careful on that the drain
right.
down there, because that thing, that hose could pop off the end of the thing, because as you push the oil drain up, it takes away the amount of stuff you're actually connected to a little bit. So we're just going to let this dude continue to drain. I'm going to pop the filler tube there to relieve the provide a source of vacuum relief. So as oil goes out, air goes in, and then the fun part will be this oil filter here. We got to navigate around all this. I mean, this would be so easy without all this BS vacuum pump and stuff.
The poor guy's got to fly too.
Well, you know, there's a reason why I'm poor. Because I got rid of my vacuum system, got the AV30s and the GI275 and all that stuff. But all right, so let's see. We need to let's see. You wanted to try that tool. Let's show. What do you got here, Tony?
So this is a anti-splat.arrow.com device.
Okay.
And supposedly, you pop that into the oil filter at the top and put some air on it and let that run for a couple of minutes with whatever air pressure you got in the tank.
Okay.
And that's supposed to push all the oil out of the air filter. I don't know if that pushes metal particles or anything back in the engine. I don't really know. Everyone swears by it, and it's a great tool. So I'm down to try it.
So the instructions say when you use this tool, is there a specific place that's recommended to do it on the filter, the closer to the base or to end, or just anywhere, or does it matter?
Yeah, just like right there.
Huh.
But always good idea to reread the instructions.
Arrow, anti-splat, arrow.com.
You gotta love their logo.
Well, that's a logo when you're selling tie downs at a windy airport. Hi, Ron Parr. Everybody subscribe to a Par for the Course.
No instructions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have this cool tool that I just highlighted. It is driven into the top of the oil filter, or well, I guess you'd call that the side, whatever. And so now what we're going to do is go over here to the compressor, which we have the regulator completely turned out, so there's zero pressure. So I'm going to come over here to Mr. Regulator, and we're going to very slowly start introducing pressure, probably just ever so slightly. All right, you holding it, Tony?
I'm watching. Hold it.
Okay. Probably around 5 or 8 psi.
I got a little more drip from the hose. Oh, there we go. So that's good.
Okay. I said I don't think it takes much.
What is that?
5 psi. I mean, just barely enough to register on the gauge.
This thing might actually work.
Wow, we have to re-edit this footage for a gimmick or. Wow, that was scary.
You touched under 120.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
You know what? Every last drop there that we can get out using this cool tool is one less drop that runs down the firewall, the back of the engine, and everything else. Which, by the way, folks, this is where I stump for the O'Reilly degreaser in the spray can. That crap really works. I also, at Home Depot, found this really cool cleaner that actually specifically on the 1 gallon jug says it is meant for aircraft. And so you can, you know, it's aluminum safe, everything else. So if you're washing your parts or washing the airplane or degreasing it or underbelly, whatever, it's safe to go. I'll be probably doing a Pyrep on that soon.
So you just put it straight in a bottle and you spray it?
You can dilute it. It's full strength concentrate.
So I don't have to go search for mineral spares to spray all the...
It's a professional degreaser that's safe for aluminum, which is usually kind of a rare thing. But wow, look, that's still.
I wonder if all the PSI is on.
I doubt it. Pressures turn out so low. Oh wow! Holy crap! I guess that tank is smaller than I thought. To go ahead. We won't blow you away with compressor sounds, but also today I do want to point out that I'm sporting, since I'm hanging out in the hangar and I am an official hangar rat, this is what hangar rats do. Just as much as we love flying, we love turning a wrench and touching all this stuff. So now your oil system will see up to 50 or 60 psi on any given day. That's fairly normal. I'm good with that because when we put it, a lot of oil came out. Let's take it on up to 30 for just a minute and see if anything changes. Man, I think she's just about done. I mean, yeah, it's a little drizzle coming out, but... So folks, this is a cute little gadget that was sent to actually get on the back of the oil filter and remove it. So we're using this torque wrench as a breaker bar. We've got it all the way released out. We don't care, we're taking it off what the tension is. We're gonna go back here on this oil filter. If this thing can be convinced to go on here. I'm gonna try it this way. All right, so I am mounted on the filter. Now, what I need, Tony, do you have towels, rags, something to stuff underneath that filter? Because there is going to be an ever so slight
hopefully
dribble. Now, the idea is with what we did here, we should have the lion's share done. In fact, right now I'm reaching in here. I don't know how well it'll show up. Oh, that was stupid. Okay. Right. When I closed the valve down there, it kind of popped out on me. And so naturally, that's all it took to make this hose come off. But that's fine because we are, this thing's pretty much drained. So, get that out of the way so it doesn't.
I think he's going to notice that because that's not mine.
Whatever, it is what it is.
Okay, so where do we put this?
So I would say, these guys, we will go kind of down here. If I don't hit anything that looks like a P-lead, stuff this down here under the oil filter. Kind of hard to see this on video probably, but this is the place where, thank God I have hands like a girl. Fit here, kind of just lightly, I'm not forcing it, just kind of gently arranging it under here where this oil filter is going to come loose. All right. I'll get Tony to come over here and be a cameraman for the moment of excitement. Now the actual excitement is going to be trying to get that filter up and out of there. And I think what we need to do at a minimum, you got this one hose here. This is your oil cooler line. That's not really flexible, but this freaking scat tube, that's tied there. That's tied. Do you have zip ties?
I don't know if I have good zip ties.
Well, these are probably Harbor Freight zip ties, but I mean, who knows? But the idea is I'd like to, because trying to get that filter, once I get it off, the scat tube is going to be kind of in the way. So ideal, and you know what? Well, I might be able just to, because that zip tie is so loose, flathead screwdriver. Flathead screwdriver? No, I mean just a medium-sized flathead screwdriver. This is when I should be able to go into 4-4 Tango into my emergency toolbox, and I should have a minimum of a flippy flop screwdriver. I would say there's a little bit of wind.
Yeah, it likes to come down this out.
Well, that's why I put the Goss lock in place. And the other lock. That will work perfectly. Just go up in here. Here, hold this.
Okay, so what is that tube for?
This tube provides air. Probably, I see you got a little control cable here. Goes and turns this air on and off. It might be for defrost, maybe.
Ah.
So we'll just take this guy loose. Pull him off. Take Mr. Clamp. Mr. Clamp is going to sit right there so it does not get lost. And then Mr. Scat Tube can slide out here.
Is that the actual name of it?
Yes, they call it a scat tube.
Scat.
Scat. Yeah, I guess because it scatters air. I don't know. It's got to be something. So I'll leave the screwdriver right there. Now, the real fun part. You got to get this oil filter. No, I should go the other way. There's a problem with oil filters. They tend to be somewhat. All So take your finger off. All right, let's see. Nope.
Thought I'd show you up, but
take just a little bit more to get that sucker where it's loose enough.
I can't get it. Okay, show off. I'm gonna see if it works.
And of course, got this stupid piece of safety wire flopping around. Okay, if I can get down here, get rid of that.
Jay's looking pretty damn good, actually.
Dude, there's not much coming. There's nothing coming out of this. Until I dumped it. Alright. Got the scat tube out of the way. Ah, you bastard. Let's see. Alright, hang on. Let me think about this. Actually, you know what? Can it go out that way? Oh, just like we planned it. And folks, the first victim, look at these cheap ass 5-nitrile bitches. Yep, they're crap. Well, I do the 10 nitrile, but all right. Folks, that was, by all accounts, I mean, if there's 4 or 5 drops of oil down here, I would be stunned. So, ladies and gentlemen, oh, that should be fun.
Yeah. We go get it.
You know what should actually be more fun than that is the fact that that filter tool will not cut that filter open.
It won't.
And you
Damn
know why?
you, Amazon!
Because that filter has a threaded doinky sticking up. And
what if I doinky here?
So normally when you cut the filter, you cut it right here at the entrance and output. You cut it right there, and then pull that whole thing out of the can.
Man, I really wanted to cut it open, dude.
So this tool can be fixed. To make it work, all we'd have to do is drill a hole. So when you put this filter, put it down there, there's a hole for that thing to stick through. So then you can spin it. So that tool can be very simply modified with a drill. Yeah, it plays a little musical jingle. Okay, folks. So digging around the hangar, we found a different tool. So we don't have to go drilling or modifying anyone.
Jay,
yes.
This is in the shot.
It is?
Yes.
Let's. Oh, yeah, this is in the shot. Bends up a little bit. How much in the shot? I mean, I see a little peach fuzz. I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
So, all right, folks. Cut. Talking about the filter. Take 2. All right, folks. So we dig around here. We found a proper tool to deal with the oil filter with a nipple on it. And this one's actually. I'm sorry.
With a what?
A nipple.
Oh.
It has a nipple.
Okay.
Right now, it's a very cold nipple.
Oh.
Just saying. You know, it's cooled off, so it's cold. And it's an oily cold nipple. I'll stop. Anyway, so this one has a peg where that goes on there like so. And actually what I need to do is get down here where I can actually don't have to risk dropping stuff.
Oh, hold on. I got side cramp from sneezing.
Dude, you have more problems.
Okay.
All right, so the way this works to get a side one-dimensional view, as I tighten this side nut, just finger tight, it pushes this cutting wheel into the actual filter. So what you do, and you can see that it's starting to make, wow, that's going to be a problem. It's probably why we should have done the hole a little bit further back. I hope that doesn't damage the cutting wheel. So be very careful. So now, the filter manufacturers don't make this easy. We need to go and actually get a knife and cut through here on both sides to peel this paper media out, like something like an X-Acto knife or something. So then we can stretch it out and look in the pleats. Thank you, sir. I just started doing stuff like a doctor. Cutting knife, stat, hemostats, stat. This dude, stay. All right, so here we go with Mr. Filter. This, oh, it's a magnet. All right, let's see if this works.
So there's no magic way of just pulling it apart?
No, this is, you talk to any mechanic, I mean, this, we're doing it, I would say, one of the many acceptable ways. Cutting, I mean, ideally it'd be awesome if Champion or whoever make, manufacturers would make it so that the media could be unlocked or something to allow it to come out, but that would be.
Jay, could you, in theory, is this flimsy enough to just take
well, I'm not sure.
Just to bend it out of the way and pull it out? Or?
If you could look inside the filter, the inside of the thing is all metal. So I think this is welded, and it's because it's aviation, it's going to be hell for stout. It's not, because you don't want to have this filter stop filtering midlife. That's an unacceptable risk. So that's why they do it this way. So we're cut this off. I'm really earning my tire today. Inside story, ladies and gentlemen. But I hope you're learning something from this, Tony, and you'll be able to reference this video by going to Wolf Pilot and clicking on the playlist Airframe and Powerplant. Should be, I think I should be most of the way through this damn thing. Poor knife gonna need a little help. All right, so now down with that side. And I've got a filter back at my hangar. I need to do this too as well. You say, God, this metal is just razor sharp. So folks, use proper safety. And when I say proper safety, it doesn't mean you need to be wearing a hard hat to do this. Probably not even safety glasses, because there's nothing that's going to come flying out of it. Although, I will defer to that age-old saying that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And I live by that. And folks, so as I'm cutting through this paper media, I can feel the edge of the blade of this knife hitting this metal inside part. And so as I feel that, I'm releasing tension so I don't destroy this knife. This looks like a pretty sweet knife. So now there's a magical trick. Ah, here we come on, Bessie. Look at this, just unfolds, and you can see how I've cut. Get the last little bit of this shit. I guess I missed just a little bit here on one side. Didn't go deep enough. All right, so we don't need that. Would you look at that? That's the bottom piece. Interesting. So I hate to, well, I still would need to pull it. This goofy crap is, anyway, won't worry about that. So ladies and gentlemen, we flip this thing over, and this is where we start looking. So I see some little flecky shiny there. Now some of this might be caused by me cutting this thing out. That could be from me cutting the filter. Yes. Well, I don't know. I stayed away from the edges.
Yeah, a little bit of flaking.
Well, that's a lot more than that'd be a lot more than me that could be in there from me cutting it open. Bits of carbon or something. And for a lot of the experienced engine builders, as they do this, they could, well, that's a fairly big little flake right there. I wonder what that, and I'm going to defer to better judgment. Now, probably, Anthony, what I would do is, when you get a chance, take this media. I don't want to get any more contaminated than it is. Ziploc baggie or something like that. Might have somebody a little bit more experienced than me look at it, someone who's cut open 10, 20 filters in their life. You can actually say, dude, you're making metal, or whatever.
And we're also doing an oil, sending off an oil sample as well.
Okay, so the oil sample, so, bastard, fucking accordion. All right, well, we got that. Put him over there. So the metal stuff is what we're looking for in this whole procedure. So this tool saved the day, folks. A KRC oil filter cutting tool. Clean this guy up and return him to the proper location. All right, folks, just to kind of cut past the boring stuff of Tony pouring oil on the top of the engine. I mean, that's kind of boring. Everyone's probably seen that. I do want to point out, get really close here, I did safety wire the filter. The wire's got a little bit of tension on it. It goes around. They safety wired to this, that is the oil pressure transducer. Cut the wire and you bend it, bend it in a little U so people don't get their finger on it and come back with hamburger. We had to disconnect a scat tube to get down there to the oil filter, so scat tube's reattached. Clamps put on, kind of nominal tension on that, or torque. So guys, at this point is when you secure all loose tools, do a final walk around inspection of your work. Anything that's FOD, all FOD in the trash. FOD there. Filters on, tight. And I mean, everything looks great. I mean, we didn't really molest anything here. Love how they used safety wire to, I guess it's part of the, that must go to the vacuum gauge. That's what that is. So Tony's waiting to win the lottery. Then we can come over here with A&P Kate and put in some AV30s or something. Or, of course, if he wins the lottery, he'll probably say screw it, and he'll probably buy one of those Kodiaks so he can fly down to Guatemala and carry 20 friends. And I think with a Kodiak, you can actually take the doors off and do parachuting from it too.
Oh, that would be nice.
It's kind of like one of the Cessna Caravans, I think. Oh, that got a big old scratch. Where the hell that came from?
Oh, you did yourself for me?
Yeah, I had to bleed on your aircraft to make it more mine. It's better than peeing on it, actually, because then we're like blood brothers. But okay, all that stuff cleared up. There are no leaks anywhere. And usually after an oil change, one of the procedures I do with 4-4 Tango is you pull it outside the hangar and start it up and just run it for a few minutes. And just ensure that you don't see anything leaking. The oil drain valve, I got sort of a visual on that. I don't know if it shows up worth a crap on YouTube, but that's closed. We didn't touch anything in here except for that one scat tube. Yeah, Tony's amused by that. So folks, that's how we do an oil change. Not a whole lot to it. I think the hardest part of this whole procedure was safety wiring the oil filter, because the wire wrapped around the backside and pulled. They were using the oil pressure transducer as the anchor. It's kind of twiggy. Not a lot of room in there for the wire safety wire tool. And I see a couple little oil drizzles here on the wheel pants. I don't know if that happened just now or if that's old, but whatever. Clean that up, and I think we'll probably need to move a few airplanes out of the way and maybe start this thing up or something. Unless we decide to go to lunch first, which might actually be a better idea, because I'm hungry. In fact, my stomach thinks my throat's been cut. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. A couple things before I wrap up this video. Let's see. If you are interested in Flying Eyes Optics, I just got my partner code with them. I love Flying Eyes. They're so flexible. They fit. They don't break the seal on your headphones. And plus, you don't look like a nozzle for wearing bows or buying A30s when they're really not that much better than A20s. Let's see. The code is Wolf Pilot. You would have never guessed it. So for 10% off your Flying Eyes purchase, use offer code Wolf or discount code Wolf Pilot. Let's see. As Bob Barker would say, help control the stray pet population. Please spay and neuter your pets. A good mind is a terrible thing to waste. And don't forget, it's a safety thing. Always clear prop loudly.
And this is your brain on drugs.
I have lots of friends.
You're doing 80s. And thank you, Wolf Pilot.
Oh my God. All right, we're leaving that in. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.